Mack Rhoades is out at Baylor for now. What does that mean for Dave Aranda? What does it mean for the CFP?
Baylor, your daily podcast on the Baylor Bears, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, Bears fans in the greater college football world. Special emergency edition of Locked On Baylor. The breaking news across college football today, Mack Rhoades stepping away from his post as the athletic director at Baylor for personal reasons. First reported by Ross Dellinger, now being reported by Heather Dinich that he will be stepping away as the College Football Playoff Committee chairman as well. Typically, you're supposed to be an AD to be on that committee, which is now down 2 members so far this season at pretty much the wrong time for everyone involved. I'm your host, Cam Stuart of the Rogue Media Network. Appreciate you guys making this your first listen today and every day, the #1 sports podcast network in the world here on the Locked On Podcast Network. This is crazy timing, obviously, just in terms of the time of the season, right? Like we're 3 weeks away from actually, actually naming the field for the 12-team college football playoff, of which he is the committee chair for. But also, you could be a couple of weeks away or a couple of days away as a Baylor fan from firing your head coach. And now the AD is gone. This is, well, for now, stepping away. This is all coming from the allegations that were sent out on the outkeep berated Michael Trigg, the team's star tight end, for wearing a long sleeve yellow shirt under his green jersey in a game against Arizona State. There was also another allegation in that story about him going up to an assistant coach after a game and putting his hands on him, putting his hands around his neck in front of witnesses. And that one has not made the rounds for any of the other stories. So I don't know if that story in particular has held up. But this is stunning news here. This is stunning breaking news on a Thursday, right after the second college football playoff ranking show was on Tuesday night. Mack Rhoades was live on ESPN, and now he is stepping away. Baylor is saying that they will have Javon Overshown, the associate AD, and Cody Hall come over and take over as co-ADs in the interim. College Football Playoff Committee has not announced who their next chairperson would be, but this is massive, massive breaking news across college football, and specifically for us at Baylor. This is still a bizarre story, and this is not coming from any sources I have or anything like that. This is just the hunch as we are doing this moments after this announcement was made. I have to imagine there is something more coming. There are some more stories that have to be coming down the pike here. Like yelling at a player, while inappropriate and kind of weird to cuss out a player for wearing a long sleeve shirt, it's bizarre. It's not fireable. Like that's not something that can get you fired as the AD, especially with how we know how close the relationship is between Mack and Dr. Linda Livingstone, Baylor's president. And you do have to have a huge modicum of respect in this business to be the chairperson of the College Football Playoff Committee. Yelling at a tight end does not remove you from that. Now, okay, like right off the back of this internal investigation from Baylor, there just happens to be some personal reasons for him to step away at the most important time of the year for his job. Like, let's not kid ourselves where this is coming from. It's very, very bizarre. And in terms of a Baylor standpoint, does it come at the perfect time for Dave Aranda? Can an interim AD fire the head football coach? I don't know that they can. I don't know if they have that kind of power, even though obviously Javon Overshown works very closely with the Baylor football program as Mack's right-hand person. She has been there for years now. Can an interim AD do that? Is Dave Aranda keeping his job by default, no matter what goes on these next three? Because then you can't fire the coach. There's no coaches left. It's a really, really weird kind of turn of events here for Baylor and what has already been an underwhelming season. And again, it's something that all the college football world is paying attention to when it comes to a hotly debated 12-team playoff. And here's a guy who's not necessarily making all the decisions, but he's the foreman of the jury here. Like, he's the one talking on live on TV with Reese Davis and ESPN. Like, this is the foreman of the 12 Angry Men, and he's out, and they're down to 10, and Baylor doesn't have an AD. And this is just part of the kind of emergency succession plan to have Javon and Cody Hall take over. This is a weird, weird story. And I don't imagine Mack Rhoades will be back as Baylor's athletic director. In fact, I doubt it. An internal investigation, these claims, you take a leave in the middle of November, like that does not add up to, oh yeah, he'll be back in a couple of months. That doesn't add up to that. If I were a betting man, FanDuel, official sponsor of the Locked On Podcast Network, I would say he's not coming back to Baylor. And that's what a lot of fans had been hoping for a while with this whole Dave Aranda debacle. But it puts a lot more pressure on this university and this athletic department to make not one, but two hires here and then bring a whole nother staff in. It is crazy breaking news on this Thursday morning. Again, just catching you up on what we have so far. No one has been announced for the College Football Playoff Committee and who will replace him there. Heather Dinich was the one reporting that he is out. Rich Clark told ESPN, actually. They're working on naming a new chair as quickly as possible. Baylor just not making any more comments at this time. They said, hey, we have the emergency succession plan. Here's what it is. It's Javon Overshown. It's Cody Hall. And that's all we know so far. All we know. Now, this is interesting because I did want to bring this up. This is from Yahoo Sports as well. According to their sources, the investigation, the internal investigation done by the school that has led to this leave of absence, so to speak, the investigation is unrelated to an alleged confrontation of a football player during a game earlier this season. Baylor had previously confirmed an investigation of that incident and reports the confrontation, quote, were thoroughly reviewed and investigated in accordance with the university policies. Appropriate actions were taken and the matter is now closed. So this is a different incident. That's why you got to believe there is something more to this story. This is not just the long sleeves, okay? There is something more to this. We just don't know it yet. So this is going to be a fascinating couple of days and weeks potentially for this to come out. And I don't imagine it will take long. This is college football, man. It probably won't take long for this to come out. This is also from the Yahoo story, just to catch you up on the Trigg thing. Multiple reports on the first incident said Rhoades allegedly confronted tight end Michael Trigg over the undershirt he was wearing against Arizona State. Rhoades allegedly didn't like the color, was wearing to fully cover the shoulder brace he had on. He's been playing with a shoulder brace all year, and they said there was heated words. And said following Rhoades' alleged confrontation of Trigg, Baylor coaches, including Dave Aranda, had heated words themselves with Mack Rhoades. So there was talks about cussing and heated words and all this. This is probably the end here. And I don't know what it does to Dave Aranda's future. Because who knows? You know, this could be an interim here for a while, and they could say, that Mack Rhoades was the problem, and that he didn't let Dave Aranda work or whatever it may be. I just don't know if you fire a coach in the next 3 weeks when you have an interim athletic director, two of them, two co-interim athletic directors. I don't know, but to close this all out, this is again shocking we as Baylor fans have had our own opinions about Mack for a couple of years because of the, decline of the football program. But it's important to note, like, Mack Rhoades has a pretty rock solid reputation around college football. Okay. Like, he was doing it in the SEC at Missouri. He had been the AD at Houston. He hired Kelvin Sampson at Houston, turned that basketball program around with that hire to heights they haven't reached in 40 years. Of course, he's in the same conference as they're doing that. But, like, this is a guy with a rock solid reputation around college football. In the year of our Lord 2025, you don't get the chair of the CFP committee without a really good reputation. And we've heard it through the annals of the Big 12 and now through the greater annals of college football. This guy is really well respected, but it definitely seems like there is something more coming. There might be a tidal wave coming once again through the Baylor football program, be it through Mack Rhoades or through a firing of Dave Aranda. But right now, Mack Rhoades is the story. He has stepped away from Baylor. I don't imagine he will be back, but this is seismic in the world of Baylor football and of college football in general when it comes to that CFP. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. How are you making sense of all this? Let me know in the comment section. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Of course, we come at you every weekday. Drop it in the morning on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts as well. #1 Baylor football show on YouTube. #1 sports podcast network in the world. We will definitely have more on this story tomorrow on Friday's show. We will be talking through what's happening here and, of course, continue to preview Saturday's game against Utah, which just takes on extra extra meaning, I guess, extra storylines, extra intrigue, but it's all right here wrapped up in this Mack Rhoades situation. So thank you for making it your first listen today and every day. We will, of course, update you whenever we get updates with it, and we'll see you next time on your favorite show, Locked On Baylor.